And the dollar got much of the blame for the stock market slump yesterday. It's falling for a sixth straight session this morning against the euro. We'll take a quick check of that. It had pared its losses recently, but there you can see it. We're all the way up at 131, and that raised some eyebrows, in large part maybe responsible for the sell-off not only on Friday but also yesterday. We were talking about it as early as Tuesday and Wednesday last week. Let's talk to Craig Russell, who is a currency trader. Craig, good morning.
Good morning, Joe. How are you doing?
I'm good. And we're going to reschedule the talk about the Amero, the gentleman from London who told Ross that don't worry about the dollar. You should be more concerned with the Amero, which would be the equivalent of the euro, only it would include Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. And
nice.
There are people that say that Bush, President Bush, Vicente Fox, and Prime Minister Martin have all have actually agreed to this. This guy's for, and he's with Jefferies. I looked to see who he was with initially, and he's with Jefferies International. So we were going to talk about that. We're going to have to reschedule it. I guess I'll just ask you. I mean, my first question was going to be, what do you smoke about? But maybe
it's a non-starter.
What about 20 years from now, Craig?
Let's call it 40 years from now. That's when it took what it took Europe to do. Started with the coal and steel community before they had a European currency unit. And first of all, does Canada really want to tie itself anymore to the United States at this point? And as much as I hate to say it, Mexico's kind of a kleptocracy in certain ways. We can't trust what's going on there.
I mean, you look at...
Did you just manage to insult all three nations in
he
one?
didn't even make... I thought you would say we wouldn't want to have the Canadian dollar, but he went the reverse.
I didn't mean to insult anyone. I'm just saying that the reality is...
Well, you did.
There's no price discovery, and there's no 24-hour price discovery in the Mexican peso, number one.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine merging the dollar with the peso. I mean, it just... And you look at how hard was it to get the Germans to give up their beloved Deutschmark? You can't get, the British won't even give up the pound. Right. Can you imagine with the way this country's moving right now in terms of protectionism and just the rising tide against globalization? Can you imagine telling some red stater that the Amero is coming? Can you imagine that?
Yeah, throw out your dollars.
Can you imagine that, Craig? Ever? We're going to merge it with the peso?
I just can't see. It's just like I said. It's a non-starter.
These guys are talking about it. I'm telling you. They're saying there's been an agreement between President Bush and Mexico. And
Martin's a lame duck. Martin's a lame duck. He basically told Quebec that they were a separate
he's a lame
people. Duck. He's in big trouble up there.
Everything.
He's in serious trouble. Bush, let's just say the elections speak for themselves. And Vicente Fox, well,
he's on his way.
There's a new president there as well.
All right, so this is not going to happen. We're still going to have a debate. We want the other guy would be, I don't know, he'd be saying something. He'd be calling you a big duty.
What would he say?
Or something. He'd say you're a big duty, Craig. And here's why. Anyway, what about? Will you say that?
I was going to say, Craig, if you had to make up a bull argument for the Amero, what would it be?
Well, it would be basically a stronger trading bloc, but NAFTA's already achieved that, and we already have a North American currency unit. It's actually the world currency unit. It's called the dollar. Okay? I mean, we're dollarizing the world, apparently, and that's our whole strategy.
Well, that brings us then to the euroizing of the world, is what we've been seeing in recent sessions, Craig. How long is that going to last?
Well, you know what? I'm going to quote John Connolly, the Treasury Secretary in 1971. It's our currency, but your problem. The rise in the euro is not something that the Europeans look upon favorably. They're an export-based economy. They want a lower euro. They would like it around 125, even lower. It would serve them. They're not a consumer-based economy the way we are. It's just not the issue. And, to segue into what's really going on with the euro right now, it was the fact of the matter that we had the Chinese say on Friday, basically, that their overabundance of dollar reserves is making them vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that really spooked the market. It was a thin market as it was. We were near highs, that 129.80 level at the time. And once that was set over the holiday period, we just blasted through, and no one's going to stem the tide at this point. There's nothing really, technically, until about 135 that would theoretically
I'll tell you,
Euro
Craig,
USD.
if this ever happens, no one's going to let you trade Amero contracts.
No, you won't be part of it. You won't even be able to carry Ameros. You'll be carrying pesos.
Well,
anyway.
I'll put it this way. I think I'll be long dead by the time we see an Amero.
All right. Thank you. Thanks.